Welcome, fellow Toastmasters and guests. This meeting of online presenters has now begun. Guests, please note that in order to be a member of our club, you must be a current or former active member of Toastmasters International and have completed at least 6 speeches from either the Traditional or Pathways programs. Or you must have substantive, relevant presentation experience that you demonstrate to us in a 3 to 5 minute speech delivered during one of our club meetings. All requests for membership are subject to board approval. If you have not already done so, please change your panel to ensure it shows your name and your role if you have one. Certainly more relevant during one of our regular meetings. Right-click and select Rename on your panel to do so. We have members and oftentimes guests from many countries throughout the world. Thus, as a professional organization, we ask that you please be aware of language or word usage that may be considered offensive or otherwise insensitive due to cultural differences. Please note that we are recording the meeting. Your video and audio contributions may be used for our club marketing purposes. Also, please remember to mute your microphone when you are not speaking so that you don't distract our speakers. Today is a very special end-of-year celebratory meeting. Please welcome back our club president, distinguished Toastmaster Lois Margolin, for final words of our very last meeting under her tenure. Lois.
I'm not giving it up. This day is going to sit here forever. You all are not going to see July 1st. I'm sorry to the 2020-2021 board. We have all decided we're staying where we are, but thank you very much for the offer. Welcome, everyone. As I said, my name is Lois Margolin, and I am so happy to be the president of this incredible club. I have been waiting all week for this night, and my husband's going, I don't understand what you do on Toastmasters. And I just go, you know what? I am just so pumped for today. And Roger, I know you're in here somewhere. I thank you so much for helping me bring this vision alive. I'm really excited about it. And I know Lou and David are also helping. So are you guys ready to hear something different and unique for an online club, right? Are you ready?
Ready.
All right, thank you, thank you. All right, here's what we're going to be doing. Everyone knows this is an advanced club. And even if you're a guest, hopefully you might have had a little bit of experience with talking around the dinner table or chatting when you were a child. Like, you know how to speak. So as long as you know that, this is going to be a piece of cake. So here's what we're going to be doing. We are going to be taking the entire group and breaking them up into a bunch of breakout rooms. Each breakout room is going to have 5, how many people, Roger? 6? What'd you decide? I can't hear you. Say it again.
6 to 7.
6 to 7 people per room. Now, this is a fun time. This is something for you to get to meet your fellow Toastmasters or the guests and spend some one-on-one quality time, but it doesn't stop there. So what we're basically going to be doing, and I want the timetable right, is that we're going to put you in a breakout room at about 8 o'clock, okay? At that time, you have 10 minutes, right, to meet and mingle. So what are you going to do when you're in this breakout room? At 8 o'clock, as a group, you are going to decide on a group name. Now, each group already has a leader. Roger has seen to that. You are going to take some votes, and here's what the game is going to be. I am basically going to be giving you a statement, and this is called Transitional Table Topic. Has anybody done Transitional Topics before? I've got one hand. Let me switch to the other page. Anyone there? No. Oh, well, this is something new. Transitional Table Topics is one continuous story. So each person has exactly 1 minute to add to the story. So it's basically a 6-minute story. If you have 6 people, 7 minutes. If you have 7 people, the leader will have a phrase. They will start that phrase, and you will decide as a group what order you're going in. So at least you know, okay, I'm going first, then Rosanna, then James, then Trisha, then Nick, whatever that order is. Make sure you know that order in advance. So as the leader, I'm going to start the statement. And as soon as I start the statement, the next person goes. Now, they have literally 1 minute, so you're going to have a timer. And that timer, which you also have to assign in your group, that timer is going to go ahead and at 50 seconds, turn on the yellow. The green. At 55, they'll do the yellow. And at 1 minute, mute that person because the next person has to go right in. You don't have a minute 2. You don't have a minute 4. You literally have to stop in mid-sentence and the next person has to continue on. And then it goes all the way back to the leader because the leader has to get their 1 minute in. So it might be something like this. And I'm going to pick on Roger. Roger, are you listening? Or are you busy making magic behind the scenes?
I'm always ready.
I love you, Roger. Okay, so Roger and I are doing an example. I am a leader. He is number 1. So I am going to say, yesterday, when I was at the zoo, I noticed
that David Carr was hanging around inside the cage. I have no clue what he was doing, but I figure I toss him some peanuts. What about you, Jim?
And now, normally you wouldn't say, what about you, Jim? But you would just keep going and go, I toss him some peanuts. And if the red light went on, he would stop right there and the next person has to continue on. So all you're doing is building a 6-minute story, 1 minute apiece. And so when you get in your groups, leaders pay special attention to this. You have to have a vote name. You have to have a group name. You have to have a timer that you assign. You have to have speaking orders. You have to decide, are you going to vote for the best table topics in your group based on creativity or consistency? So for instance, I've done this a number of times. Consistency would be everything just kind of flows. Creativity is you're talking about a zoo and then all of a sudden Nick says, yes, so there was a man on the moon. And you're like, where did that come from? And the next person comes in and brings them back to Denmark. That's not consistency, but it's creative. So as a group, are you more into the consistency or the creativity? So you have to have 2 timers. I'm sorry, you do need 2. The first one times everybody and the second one only times the leader because the leader can't time themselves. So the timing is, again, at 50 seconds, it will be green. At 55, it will be yellow. And at 1 minute, the next person immediately picks up. And that's when you turn red. Elaine?
Can we do audible timing? A lot of people probably aren't set up to do visual timing.
You know what? Your group decides. That's your group decision. We're
Okay.
not involved in it. If your group decides you want audible, you can do audible. But you've only got 6 people. If somebody has virtuals, they're your, they'll be your timers.
Okay.
All right, Jim Barber.
Lois, could you run by the two timers again? I missed that.
Okay, so you want timers because the leader has to give their 1 minute also, and the timer is going to give a 1 minute. Somebody has to time the timer. So you've got your regular, and then somebody's timing the timer.
Gotcha. Okay, thank
you. And the leader can't be the only timer because the leader has to give their speech too.
But the leader can be one of the timers.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
However you want to do it.
Okay.
So I'm going to reiterate for you leaders, you have to come up with a group name. You have to come up with 2 timers, the speaking order, and is the vote based on creativity or consistency. Now, I have done this a number of times when we are in a brick and mortar club. When I've done it online, what I have done is I have literally, when it's person number 2, let's say we're on number 3, I'll just hold it up like this so that the group knows the third person is coming up. So as leaders, you want to make sure whoever number 3 is, they know that's the number we're on. Because as you get into 4 and 5, they might not realize, and you're not supposed to be saying, okay, who's number 5? Number 5 should just smoothly go in, or don't vote that person for your best table topic. Now you're wondering, okay, great. So we do this whole table topic thing. Now what? Well, at 8:10, you have 10 minutes to put that all together. At 8:10, Roger is going to broadcast to begin your table topics. Don't start before then. You can play around with it, but don't start before then. At 8:10, you start your table topics. At 8:23, Roger is going to give you the 2-minute warning. that you need to wrap it up and have your winner. You're going to come back here, and each group is going to tell me what their group name is and who their winner is. And those winners are going to be in an official table topic contest. And Lou Brown is going to take those individuals into the breakout room. And the timers, I think we have some special timers there. We're going to do the regular table topic timing, except at 2:33, we're going to mute your mic. You can't go more than 2:33 because we do have time constraints. Anybody want to know what the winners are going to win?
Yes.
So it's
It
not
falls on everybody
trophies.
else.
I'm sorry, it's not just trophies, but the winner, I know it does get confusing. The winner is going to win a $20 gift certificate to Starbucks. Second place will win a $10 gift certificate to Starbucks. And third place will win a $5 gift certificate to Starbucks. And the winners will be decided by a poll of everybody. So, are we almost ready to do this?
Yes.
Nick, you had a question?
Hi. How are we voting for this, please? Everybody in the room has a vote?
Yep, one
In the
vote.
breakout room. Okay.
And even when you're in the breakout room, each person has one vote.
Okay. Thank you.
On our side, we're going to do a poll. So we'll just poll it and each person has their one polling vote. Okay, any other questions? Trisha?
How do we get in the groups and out of the groups?
Well, when it's time, Roger's going to say 3, 2, 1, and you'll see a big thing up on your screen that will see, please enter your breakout room. Okay, let's see if I have any on the second page. Any other questions?
As a follow-up to what Lois had just shared, very quickly as a review. Now, this may sound like a lot of juggling, a lot of balls in the air, but if you just take a step back and let me work backwards, we are going to have a final showdown toward the second half of the meeting. So the final showdown will be a showdown between all the winners from our small groups. In the small groups, once you've been pushed, and Trish, I'm going to push you into those small groups. And I'll do my magic. I know I'm further away, but I can do just that. But I cannot pull you back into the main room. So you do want to click into the little click button. It will appear toward your lower right-hand corner. When your group is done, you can pop back into the main room. Answering what Nick mentioned earlier, in your small group, I don't care how you come up with it. You can punch anybody, you can whack them, and you can delete all of them and say, you know what, Nick, I am the leader, and I am the only winner. That's about as impromptu leadership as we can put into here, so that each and every one of your group will get a chance to get to know one another, have a little fun, and also exercise your leadership skills as you go through these different types and different style. And the memberships are randomly placed into these breakout rooms. Now, some of you, my last comment is that some of you have joined our meeting a little bit later. Therefore, you're not initially in the breakout room until I start, and then I can assign you into a room. Most of your room will have either 5, 6, or 7 people, and then you decide how you're going to move forward. You will see some notes when I send in a text box that give you the 2-minute warning in terms of what you need to do and get started. So back to you, Lois.
Okay, so I just want to remind everybody the timing, because that seems to be a question. In 1 minute, we're going to open up the breakout rooms. That's 8 o'clock. At 8:10, you will see a broadcast. That means you have 10 minutes. At 8:10, we will tell you begin your table topic contest. You have 15 minutes to complete your entire table topic contest. If you want to do it twice, you can do it twice. Roger, how are you going to let the leaders know the table topic for the transition?
We have 6 different rooms right now. You can see the facilitator with the letter F in front of their name. First thing you do once you enter into your chat room, the breakout room, is to find out if you have either 0 Fs or double Fs. If that's the case, push one of those guys or gals, come back in here, we'll arrange it. each of the facilitator should have already received their initial question. That little part that says, hey, here is how you're going to start your story. And if you don't have it, please private chat me right now.
All right. Last chance. Are there any questions, or does everybody seem to understand? I will be popping in and out of the different rooms just in case there's any questions, and so will Roger. In the meantime, Roger, it is 8:01. Let's get them in their rooms.
Woo! You are being pushed.
I was like, all right. Let me write that down. Deborah.
Cars crew.
Was David in your group?
No, but everybody thought he was. His name was all through the discussion.
Oh, okay. Michael.
We were the Sunset Club.
Sunset Club. And Jim.
We are the snappy speakers. SNAPPY, not flabby speakers as I misunderstood originally.
Okay. And Nick.
We are the champions.
We are. Okay, got it. All right. So I have eventual winners, the Fantastics, Cars True, Sunset Club, Snappy Speakers, and the champions. All right. We have a couple of minutes. What was the experience like? Was it tough? Was it easy? What did you think?
Fun.
I liked it
Just
because
fun.
It
Deborah?
was just right.
Deborah, what did you like about it?
Oh, it's just fun, because you see the creativity and it expanding and the craziness all in one and just all wrapped together. It's fun.
Okay. And how many of you decided that you wanted to go continuous versus creative? Did you mostly, Carl, what did you get with?
We did continuous.
Michael?
We did continuous.
Mhm.
So did we.
Deborah?
Yep.
And Andre? Continuous.
Yes.
All right. And Nick?
Creative.
We went creative.
hey.
Creative. Oh, look at Chris. Oh, yeah, we're there.
And Lois, I would love to hear what is one thing that you guys really hated about the last 20 minutes?
It ended.
That you weren't in our group, Roger.
Oh, all right.
Wow.
I felt timing was kind of stressful.
Timing was stressful.
Yeah, definitely. When you do it in brick and mortar, we normally have the next person standing up, and as soon as that minute hits, we shove them out. And so it is a very stressful thing because you have 1 minute and you got to pay attention. What did you find as far as your creativity? Did you have a hard time making it continuous?
I was surprised at what came out of my mouth. I mean, I just opened my mouth and let it go. And I said, oh, I actually can say something.
Well, for our fearless leaders, did you find you had the hardest role because you had to wrap the whole story up, or did you just continue?
It was actually the
Just
easiest.
continued. Yeah.
Just continued?
No, I felt it was the easiest.
Really? Okay.
Because the
Yeah, I
person
also-
in front of me wrapped up, and then what I did was I did a summary. just like an evaluation.
Okay.
I found it was easiest because there were all the loose ends from the various speakers. And so I just had to sort of sew them together. I didn't have to come up with anything on my own, just a little rounding.
Interesting. How about Jim? Same thing?
I misunderstood. I didn't realize that as the leader that I was supposed to be the last speaker. So I was speaker number 2.
Okay. All right. Well, who was your last speaker?
Christian.
Christian, how'd you do?
Same thing as the others. I just summarized and wrapped everything up.
Wrapped it up. Okay. All right. Well, Roger, you have our winners from the individual groups. Would you like to announce them, or how would you like
Yes,
to do
Lois, let me go ahead and present the winners behind the scene, I will start creating the breakout room. Would you also go ahead and give instructions to our 2 timers for this portion of the meeting? Chris Gold and Sarah are our 2 timers.
Okay.
Chris is a
Fabulous.
2-timer? What's this?
Pardon?
I said Chris is a 2-timer? This is the first I've heard about it.
Supposed to hear that. Okay, so our 2 timers. Oh, here are our winners: Christian, Diane, Graham, Brian, David, Renee, and Susan. Okay, so let me get those.
And that is their speaking order.
Oh, what room were they in? What room was Christian in?
I
Snappy
apologize, I don't
speakers.
have that in front of me.
Okay, doesn't matter.
Snappy
So for-
speakers.
Brian, Renee. So yeah, I do kind of want to know. I have their order, but so Christian was in
Snappy
Which one?
speakers.
number. Okay, Snappy. And what was Diane in? Diane, what group were you in?
Number 2.
Number 2, I guess. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
All right, Graham.
I was in We Are the Champions.
Yeah, and Renee should be T Renee.
Renea.
Okay, so T Renee. And what group were you in, T Renee?
Sunset Club.
So that. And Susan. Susan.
Choosing.
Which one? Were you an eventual winner?
Cars crew.
Cars crew.
Okay.
Number 6.
Okay, so I have Christian from Snappy Speakers. I have Diane from the Fantastics. Graham, We Are the Champions. T. Renea from Sunset, and Susan from Eventual Winners. And Brian.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's T. Renee, not Renea. You're correct.
Oh, it is Renee. Okay.
Yes, it is. Thank you.
No problem. And Brian, what club are you with? Brian?
Winners.
Eventual Winners. Okay, so Susan's not Eventual Winners. Which one is Susan?
Cars crew.
Okay, so interesting. And Diane, you are with, okay, got it.
Fantastics.
Yep, got it. Cars crew. All right, so here's how we're going to do the timing. These are table topics, so they're 1 to 2 minutes. So just like you would on the regular timing lights, you have the 1 minute is green, the 1.5 is yellow, the 2 minutes is red, and at 2 minutes and 33 seconds, you call time and we will literally mute that speaker. So Diane and Sarah, do you have any, or Chris and Sarah, do you have any questions? Diane? You're muted? You're still muted.
The timing is such that I can stop at green, or do I need to go all the way through and hit red?
Just need to go to green, but you have to hit green.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Sarah and Chris, are you both good with that?
So it's standard table topics, green at 1, yellow at 1.5, red at 2, and cut them off at 2:30? Or you? Or
33. We're going to give them 3 seconds and that's it. They're done. 2:33. Susan, did you have a question?
Yes. Are we all getting different questions then, or the same question?
Nope, you'll get a different question. It won't be transitional. It'll be regular table topics.
And who's doing the timing?
The timing will be done by Chris and Sarah and Deborah. I'm sorry, and Sarah.
Please raise your hand, timers. Please raise your hands.
There we go. I'm giving a grin here so you can see me.
Wait, is it Sarah Gao or is it Sarah Iden?
It's Sarah Iden.
Okay.
All right, Chris, can you say hello so they can see you and put some color on? Chris?
You might want to stop screen sharing so
Yeah, I
that
was
they
just
can
gonna
see.
say, let's do that. Okay, so Susan, can you see Chris?
Yes.
Okay. And where is Sarah? I don't see Sarah. Sarah, can you say hello? Ah, there you are. Second timer. All right. Is everybody?
Now with this having two time, Lois, only
Yes.
one of us would show red, yellow, green, right? Only one of the timers. One would.
Right.
both.
So which one of you is the main one? Chris is going to be the main timer?
Correct. Chris is the main timer. The second timer will be there just so that we have duplicate in front of you. Chris Gall will be the one who will cut you off literally at 2:33. When we're all done with this, every one of you get a chance to vote for your best winner. So you decide whatever criteria in your mind that constitute as the best speaker.
All right. So let's get going. And if we can have Roger open up the rooms for everybody but Christian, all our contestants. And you will be in the breakout room with our fabulous Sergeant at Arms, Lou Brown. Tell us when they're all in there.
Yes, our contestant number 226 plus our Sergeant Arm is in the breakout room.
Awesome. So Christian, are you ready? Here we go. Can you see the timer?
Yes, I can.
All right. And we
The
can hear
question,
you.
as Lois verbally announced the question, there will be a screen share with the question in a screen share for a second or two, then I'll turn it off.
All right. The question is, tell us about one of your biggest life-changing moments. Tell us about one of your biggest life-changing moments. Toastmaster Christian.
Life happens, and it happens so fast that we don't have time to just sit and reflect and think how we're living it. Now, for some of us, we've had many life-changing moments. The day we were born, the day we found out why we were born, the day we got married, the day we realized why we got married. But for me, the change happened 3 weeks ago when I walked out of a car crash alive and not hurt, with only a whiplash. My car got collided into by a 4x4 vehicle. It spun 180 degrees. Life, like you see in the movies where there's an accident and it goes into slow motion, it does go into slow motion. And when I walked out, the first thing I thought was, I'm alive. And then I went home. I saw my wife, I saw my kids, and I realized what had really happened. Because if I had not walked out alive, I wouldn't be with them. And they would be missing me. I hope they would have been missing me. And at that time, I realized what really is important for me in life. It's living the special moments every single day. Living life one day at a time, and yet taking time out to reflect. Living out life with people who think like you, just like in online Toastmasters, where there are leaders, and leaders are really being made. Living life on your own terms with the people you love, and you hope they love you. And do so by really enjoying it and eating it like a big burger with a big coffee cup from Starbucks, maybe. Yes, that's what's important for me. Living life one day at a time with the people I love. Madam Contessa.
Thank you, Christian. Let's give him a round of applause. Yay. Roger, can we have contestant number 2?
Before I do so, would you reach out to one of the members to have them turn off their green square?
Let's sing.
Or turn on their video?
Let's sing. There we go. Thank you. You got it. All right, Diane, do we see you yet?
Yes, you do see me.
There you are. Can you see Chris, our timer?
Let's see.
Chris, can you say hi?
Oh, yes, I do see.
That's me with the blue.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, great. So what's going to happen? This is Master Diane. I'm going to call your name. We're going to actually display the question on the screen. We'll read the question and then we'll say your name. Ready?
Screen.
We're going to show it on the screen. We're going to display. So
Okay.
the question is, this is Diane. Tell us, whoops, sorry. Tell us about one of your biggest life-changing moments. Tell us about one of your biggest life-changing moments. Toastmaster Diane.
I had so many disappointments in terms of the Fulbright Award. It's an extremely rigorous process, and I failed not just once, but twice. The first time I felt like my heart was broken. I had put so much work into that application. Fast forward a few years, a lot more effort, and I got a chance to go to Bulgaria. There I I worked at the American University in Bulgaria with the provost to develop a system of partnerships. It's really difficult to overestimate the importance of Fulbright in my life. I am now part of this amazing circle of people. And the thing that's so special is that everyone who got this award has worked incredibly, incredibly hard. So we hold this award in the greatest reverence, and we hold each other in the greatest reverence too. The project changed my life. I am a better scholar for it. I hope that I left something valuable behind. I've been told that I have in very, very moving terms. But how can one put that into words? I just did. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Diane. Roger, if we could please have, who's number 3? Graham. Let's see. Is Graham in the room yet? Okay, let's see. Is Graham in the room? Is he still in the breakout room? He's here. Graham, are you here?
I am indeed.
Thank you, sir. First, checking to make sure you can see our timer, Chris.
Yes, I can.
Okay, so how this is going to work is we're going to call your name, then we're going to display on the screen through a screen share the question, and then we'll call your name, and you're most welcome to answer. So this is Toastmaster Graham. The question is, tell us about one of your biggest life-changing moments. Tell us about one of your biggest life-changing moments. Toastmaster Graham.
Madam Chair, ladies and gentlemen, there are so many life-changing moments that it is almost impossible to pick one. There was a moment just then which may well have changed my life, but I will never know because I didn't take that path less chosen or that path more chosen. There is, of course, a reason why we should take the path more chosen rather than less chosen, because the less chosen path is the one that has lions and tigers and bears, oh my, and they may eat you. But sometimes we need to go and face those lions and tigers and bears, oh my. I've had a number of moments in my life that I would consider to be life-changing. One of them was when I met a young lady. She was 17. In fact, she hadn't been allowed to go out on her own with boys until her 17th birthday, and I met her a week later. That was 40 years ago, and she's sitting out in our lounge room at the moment. That was a life-changing moment. The moment when I first held in my arms our oldest child. That was a life-changing moment. That was the moment when I went from being a husband and a father, a husband and a man, to being a father and having enormous responsibility. The moment that I held my daughter in our hands, our second child, that again changed the way that I looked at the world, because I'd been, like all boys, I'd been a boy. I knew about boys. I didn't know about girls and about women and that what she was going to face. And I have to say, I am inordinately proud of both of those children. So those were life-changing moments. There was the moment when I decided to ignore my high school principal and take off to go to see ABBA perform in Australia, because I was the secretary of the ABBA Bring Them to Brisbane Association. That nearly changed my life. Every moment is life-changing, ladies and gentlemen. Every moment is a chance to take that path, and we'll never know whether it's right or wrong. Madam Chair.
Thank you, Graham. All right, Roger, we are looking for Brian. Let's see, has Brian joined
Brian
us?
is here.
Brian, can
Yep.
you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can. Can you see our timer?
I'm looking for her right now.
Chris, can you say hello, please?
Hello, hello, hello. Yoo-hoo.
Can you see her?
I've got you in my active speaker view now.
Thank you. So here's what we're going to do. We'll say your name. Roger will share his screen. You'll see the question as I read it. I'll read it a second time, say your name, and then you are welcome to have your table topics. Ready?
Yes.
Toastmaster Brian, tell us about one of your biggest life-changing moments. Tell us about one of your biggest life-changing moments. Toastmaster Brian.
It was 2003 and I was working at a radio station. I was working the graveyard shift where you hear the absolute worst commercials. I heard an advert come on that specifically said, "Are you an overweight male? Can you not see your toes?" And asked a rather more insulting questions. And at the very end it said, "If all these apply to you, the Golden State Warriors want you to become a cheerleader." Well, yeah, I guess I could do that. So I showed up with 6 other rotund, portly, obese gentlemen to try out to become a member of the Golden State Warriors all-male cheerleading team. It was one of those moments that really redefined who I was at that point in my life. I was at a den job. I was making $10 an hour in one of the most expensive places to live in the world. And then I became a cheerleader. The moment where it all got real for me was 2 days after our tryouts. An article appeared in the newspaper. And the headline, the first line of the article said, "After the first few beats of the song, Oakland resident Brian David Crawford turned around, shake what his mama gave him, thus showing us the first ever plumber's butt of the evening." It was one of those sign that boy up moments. It was that moment that I realized I have 2 paths in life. I can either accept this shameful, embarrassing, terrible situation I found myself in, or I could just have a laugh and go with it. Naturally, I took the latter because it's more fun to have fun at yourself, at your own expense. I have spent the last 17 years of my life trying to do the crazy, the zany, because that makes my life just a little more interesting. It makes it a little more fun. And that's why my life changed the moment I heard an announcer say, "Are you obese?" Thank you, Madam Topics Master.
Thank you, sir. Roger, if we can have T. Renee, contestant number 5. Chris, you still have your red light on. All right,
Contestant
T.
number
Renee.
5 is in the room.
All right, T. Renee, can you say hello so we can see you?
Hello.
There you are. Can you see our timer?
I tried to pin them and I don't see.
Both timer, would you wave your hand?
Oh, there you are. Yes, I see you.
Okay, so T. Renee, here's how we're going to do it. I will say your name, then we will have a screen share with the question. I'll read the question twice. Say your name, at which time you can answer the question. You ready?
Yes.
Here we go. T. Renee, tell us about one of your biggest life-changing moments. Tell us about one of your biggest life-changing moments. T. Renee.
Wow, thank you for asking that question, Madam Topic Master, to my wonderful fellow Toastmasters online presenters and the guests that are joining us. My biggest moment, well, was hitting 50, 10 years ago. Think of that. Now, that's a very exciting time as well, because 2020 has given me a new perspective. I have visions of better times, but visions also of looking forward. Vision gives us a perspective to not only see our own world, but see the world of others.
T. Renee?
Yes.
Hold on. We can't hear you. It's getting very jumbled. We're going to give you a moment to get your internet connected, and we're going to let you start again.
Oh my goodness. I don't know what to do because I'm not seeing any problems on my end.
It's sounding much better now. Let's go ahead and let you start. Tell us about one of your biggest life-changing moments.
Madam Topic Master, fellow Toastmasters, online presenters, and guests like me. My most exciting time was hitting the big 5-0 10 years ago. I know about that, though. Let's think about 2020. 2020 is a time of vision for me, a new vision, one of introspection where I'm looking deep within to see what really values that I have, and the retrospection of times past, some things I've let go of. I've let go of habits, relying on the gym and my church members to keep me pumped up, and now really taking inspection of what things I really should do differently. So I'm enjoying times where I'm just looking within and examining what I need to do to move forward. And I always say insight can take you out of sight if you pause for the cause and think about what's important to you. Don't worry about what the media is saying. Don't worry about what your friends are saying. Get alone, get a perspective, live what you believe, and then you have something to cleave on, something to share, and perhaps even a legacy. So the time that's most important to me was not so much when I hit 50, because that time is gone. 60 is right here, right now. So this insight of what I need to do has taken me out of sight. Thank you, Madam Topic Leader Master.
Thank you. All right, Roger, let's get Susan and our Sergeant at Arms to join us. Okay, Susan, are you here? I see Luz. Susan, are you here? Susan, did you make it back? You might have to unmute yourself.
Not quite. She's somehow stuck in the room, and I am manually shutting it down.
Okay, thank you.
She should be back.
Okay.
Susan, please wave your hand and speak. There you are.
Hello.
Oh, there you are, Susan. Okay, can you see our timer? Chris, can you say hello?
Hi.
All right, here's what we're going to do, Susan. I'm going to say your name. Roger's going to share a screen with the question. I'll read the question twice, say your name, at which time we ask you to answer the question. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right. Susan, tell us about one of your biggest life-changing moments. Tell us about one of your biggest life-changing moments. Susan.
One of the biggest life-changing moments I had was actually quite recently. And it wasn't a dramatic event. It wasn't like there was an incident. It wasn't like there was a drama. It wasn't like there was even anybody else there. It all happened in my head. And I was on a call with a group of people.
It's 2 hours.
And we had a question to answer. And the question was, if you could go back to any point in your life and live a day again, which day would you choose? Oh, that's easy. Would it be the day at that beach or the day at that beach? Would it be that party or would it be that party? Would it be that celebration or that celebration? I couldn't decide. But we started going around the room and the first person said, the day I'd pick is the day I had an argument with my best friend. And I was so stubborn that I couldn't admit I was wrong. And she was so stubborn, she couldn't admit she was wrong either. And I lost that friendship. And as I heard her answer that, I realised how shallow I was, how completely shallow I was, because this girl had lost a friendship spanning 20 years where they could have had so many shared experiences and so much friendship, and they'd lost it through stubbornness. And she could go back and change that and have that friendship. And all I'm thinking about was another day at the beach, which I can replicate now. So that made me go back over my life and think of all the things that I've done in my life that have impacted the course of my life for the negative. I want to go back and change them. And I think that moment was one of the biggest incidents that changed my life because it changed my perception of my control over my own destiny. Madam Toastmaster.
All right. Thank you, Susan. So Roger, you want us to private chat you our winners, right?
No, there will be a poll being popped up in front of your desktop. Anyone who has problem, you can private chat me, but don't do it twice. Either answer the poll or private chat. Here's the poll. All you have to do is click on your winner, the best table topic speaker in your mind.
All right. Real quick reminder, Christian, Living Out Life with People Who Think Like You. Diane, the Fulbright Award. Graham, Every Moment is a Life-Changing Moment. Brian, the Golden Warrior Leader. T. Renee, 2020 is your introspective changes. And Susan, couldn't admit we were wrong. We still have a few more people to vote. And if you are a
10 more
co-host,
seconds.
Private message. It's getting close, guys.
The poll will be closed in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
All right. So what I would love to see is if all of the contestants would just go ahead and put their email address in the chat so I can email you your gift certificate. Ooh, so Brian is at 3:05. So Roger, I don't know the answers, but Brian was over time.
No, I'm sorry. That was 2:05.
Okay, so everybody's in time.
Yeah. Everybody qualifies. Absolutely,
Awesome.
Everybody qualifies.
All right, so if everybody can go ahead and give me their email addresses, that would be great. So how fun was this, right? A little bit different, a little bit, nice way to end the year. I did have a whole big presentation, but we are running out of time, so I'm going to just make sure that as soon as Roger's ready, we are ready to go. But I did want to take some time, thank the existing board, and I will do a special presentation later. I will ask Nick and Christian to please put me on the agenda one day so that I can do a special thank you to my existing board, because they really have been amazing. And I have learned so much from them, and this is the year. And so many of you that are new, that have been here for a while, you make it special. We appreciate you, especially if you joined over the last 6 months during this COVID-19 and didn't really know what you were getting into. But you know what? It was awesome. It was really awesome having you join. And David Carr, thank you. Every time we have something new we needed, we appreciate it. And it just made everything so incredibly special. I'd like to hear from any of you. This is your couple of minutes instead of the parking lot. For our guests, what did you think of the meeting? Let's see if I can find some guests here. Rob, what did you think about the meeting?
Well, thank you so much for letting me visit. It was a lot of fun, and I observed so many really good habits and skills. I mean, it's really instructive. Thank you.
All right, so we do have our winners. Did all of the contestants put their email addresses in the chat room? I think I have them all. Okay. Roger, our third place winner. Please give a big round of applause to Susan. Yay, Susan. Yes, $100 gift card. Susan, do you have Starbucks where you live?
Yes, we do.
Awesome. Okay. Our second place winner is Graham. Yay! Graham, do you have Starbucks where you live?
Yes, but I also have a daughter living in North America, so she'll probably end up using it.
Okay. And our first place winner, Jim Gould, give us a round of applause. Give us some. Our first place is Brian, the Golden Warrior. Yay! Congratulations. And Brian, you are in the state, so I know you have Starbucks. Congratulations to all of our winners. It was a lot of fun. Thank you for indulging me, and I look forward to the new board stepping in next week. Thank you. Meeting is officially adjourned.